Hi guys, welcome back. It's Nancy, and today we are going to be playing with this new Wetlands stamp from Blue Knight Rubber Stamps as part of the new May 2020 release. Beautiful scenery stamp. I've already stamped it out using my Tim Holtz stamp platform here. I've stamped it on some Arteza Expert Watercolor pad. I've been having a lot of fun using this for watercoloring. So I've stamped it out with some VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. This ink is really good for watercoloring, and I was just heat setting it so we can get started. Alright, what I'm going to use to color this in today are my shimmer markers. I have them in this Tim Holtz tin. These you can pick up from HSN. They're Spectrum Noir, all different colors. But they have a lot of shimmer in them, and they're just really fun to play with for a lot of bright color, but also that shimmer. I have two water brushes and some paper towel off to the side here. And let's get started. So, I'm going to use this as a reference, which I often do. I think I will start with the grassy area and just put down some color. I'm going to start by kind of just moistening the area first. Just a little bit. Kind of work in small areas here. And then you just take the marker, and that's all you do is color with it. And then if you want to dilute it or move it around, you just take your water brush and do that. I have this cut down to just slightly larger than 5 1/4 by 4. I will cut this down to fit on the panel to be 5 1/4 by 4. But I like to have a little bit of edge there just in case my colors don't run off very well, or just to give a little bit of a border there before I cut it down. I like to call this faux watercoloring because using the markers, I think, gives me more control than using watercolor paints. I mean, I do like using watercolor paints, but I'm not very good at watercoloring with just straight paints. So using the markers and the water brush gives me a little bit more control. I can control where the color's going, where the water's going, but it doesn't look like I just colored it in with markers because we're able to control that flow. And like I said, you won't see it right now, but as this dries, you'll see the mica and the shimmer come up, which is going to be really pretty. Oops, I think I just went in the water. I did go in the water. That's all right. We'll fix that. So, here. And I'm not really squeezing the brush and adding a lot of water. It's coming out on its own, and it's just enough to get that marker moving, get the color moving. And it's a name on here. Green Pickle, this one's called. It's actually a pretty good name for it. Okay, so that's one of the greens. I want to add a little bit different green. This one is called Holly Leaf. Let's see how this looks. Oh, that's a little too bright green. I like my neutral green there. This one, Warm Basil. Yeah, I might use that one. Got quite a few greens in here. Forest Walk. Oh, that's pretty dark. I like that though. A little bit of that. We're going to just spread that around. It's really dark. So Again, just a little bit of shading. And you can see as soon as it hits the water, the markers just bloom right away and spread their color, which is nice. Okay. Okay, warm basil I'm going to use over here in these trees. I'm just going to kind of dot that in and then take my water brush, spread it out. Perfect. And the same over here. Okay, and then for these bigger trees, I'm going to add some of this darker green. Again, just dotting the color in, not too much. This is again called Forest Walk. Let me start with this one over here. Oops. A little too much coming out of the marker there. Let's put that back that way. You really do not have to squeeze those markers. Once they're activated, they're good to go. So here, a little bit too much. That's okay. We'll spread it out amongst all the trees. All the happy little trees. Okay, and now it's starting to dry. I'll show you the shimmer. Very pretty. It's subtle, but it's pretty. So there you can see it on the trees. There's a little bit on the grass. It's a little more diluted because, again, I put more water in the grass. But it's starting to come together. So let's see. Let's do some water. This one's called Summer Sky. Oh, no, that's the perfect blue. We're going to use that. And I'm not squeezing the marker. I'm just gently putting down that color. Now, on other watercolor papers, I found that if I do this, then it soaks in and it's really hard to kind of dilute that color and get it moving. But on this Arteza paper, for whatever reason, it just, look at that. As soon as the water hits it, it loosens right up and no brush marks. That's so pretty. And wherever it's too dark, just Squeeze a little bit more out of the water brush and it will lighten that up. And anywhere it's too light, you just go in and add more color. Oh wow, that's so pretty. Now over here, I don't feel like it moved enough. I'm just gonna go back in with the brush and move it around. That's really pretty. I like that a lot. Wow. And it's just a really beautiful stamp, and it's just really easy to add that color. Okay, now for our mountains. Do I have a gray? I don't have very many grays. I think, is this a gray? Graphite. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, okay, good. And I'm just going to go in and follow the line art that the artist drew. That's where my color is going to be the darkest. That's where the artist wants it to be kind of shadowed. And then I'll go in with the marker and pull the color down from those areas. So it'll be lighter everywhere else. Oh yeah, that's so pretty. And I'm not going right into the trees right away because I want to make sure those trees are dry before I hit that with the watercolor, because if you get too close to an area you just did, then you're going to get bleeding. We don't want any bleeding, so we're just going to be real light and gentle as we come down into this area. And I'm going to leave that like that, and I'll come back to it. For a short period of time when I was a kid, it wasn't very long, we lived in Colorado. We lived in Colorado Springs. And I think as a kid, I kind of underestimated. I mean, I knew it was beautiful. And we did the touristy things. Like we went to Denver. We went to Garden of the Gods. We did all that stuff. But I don't think I really appreciated how beautiful it was. So now as an adult, I kind of regret that and would love to go on vacation and take my kids just to see all of that again. Now see there, I accidentally dipped into the green. So I'm going to take a little bit of my marker right here on my craft mat. And actually I'm going to grab my Tim Holtz. This is a finer point. And just dip into there and get really kind of close to these trees without actually touching. Just because this is a finer tip brush, you can kind of blend that in a little better. Sometimes it takes a different color medium to make a stamp pop too. I think this would have been really pretty in pan pastels, but by adding these shimmer markers, first of all, the colors are so bright, but that pop of shimmer on the water, on the mountains, on the trees, you see that in nature, whether you realize it or not. When you go out in the morning, you have dew on the grass, you have the sun reflecting off of the water. You know, you have that in nature. You have spider webs in trees. You have rocks glistening. So this really makes it pretty without overdoing it. It's really, really nice. And we just need to add the sky. And I'm debating, do I go with a light blue sunny sky? Do I do like a sunset sky? I don't know. There's so many pretty options. I think I'm going to go light blue and do my little cloud trick. Okay, so I'm going to saturate this. Again, being very careful, try not to go into the mountains. We don't want gray clouds. We want light blue sky. Try not to touch the trees. And I'm purposely leaving like an area around them, almost like when you're doing a die cut, so that I don't get any color saturated into those areas. Like not even right up to them. There is a very definite border where Nancy is not going into those trees, not going into the mountains. So this is slightly saturated, but it's not super wet. Okay, just to help that move, we want a really light blue moonstone. Let's see how this works. Yes, that's what I want. I'm going to squeeze this a little bit. A little more color out. Here we go. Oh, that's pretty. Super pretty. All right, now I'm going to water this down some more. Whoa, that's a lot. Okay, that's okay. It's pretty. Really want to saturate this and get this watered down. Again, kind of gently avoiding between the trees there, down here. Now, what we're going to do while that is really wet is we're going to crinkle up some paper towel and we're going to blot some of that up. So we get this cloudy sky, but it's very gentle. And I took a little too much up, so we're going to do that again. And it's okay to do this in layers, because that'll make it look even prettier. Again, just laying that sky down. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Oh, I'm really happy with that. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so pretty. All right, so there we go. We have this watercolored image. So pretty. Can see the sparkle in there. Look at the sky and the water. And then all we have to do is just mount it on a card and we're done. So super easy to do. Again, this is part of the new release for May 2020 from Blue Knight Rubber Stamps. It is called Wetlands. Beautiful, beautiful, easy to color stamp. And there you go. If you have any questions, post them down below. I will link everything in the description for you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching and keep on stamping. Bye-bye.